Wassalamu ala mala nabiyya ba'da. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us the opportunity to have gotten to this stage that we are. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it as an act of ibadah. The second phase of our khutbah, we'll be discussing about the freedom of Al-Aqsa. Al-Aqsa had been invaded by the Crusaders so many times. And I've discussed with us extensively what Al-Aqsa is and what comprises of Al-Aqsa. This Al-Aqsa, as I started the discussion last week, was invaded because every one of us used to hear about Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi, and that Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi is incident happened in the year 1187. But there are some incidences that happened before getting to Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi, which happened in the year 1099, that is 1099. The Crusaders, they invaded Al-Aqsa. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because wherever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is supporting his righteous one, it will definitely bring out somebody that will spearhead the cause. That is why the name of Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi keep repeating in our memory, keep repeating itself in our record. Does it mean that we can't find, or we are not going to get the type of Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi again? No. And he wasn't an angel, he was just an ordinary person like us. How are we going to chant our own cause so that our own name too can be a record like that of Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi? But before him, before Al-Aqsa was liberated, you know, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have told us how he visited this particular Baitul Maqdis, which is in Palestine. He was about to be killed because there was a prophecy that whenever the landowner of this particular place come, the bell that was hung is going to drop. And when Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going to Syria, him and Maisara, when they were going on getting to that particular place, they received him as an August visitor. As he got there, around the temple of the Jews, the bell that was on, the bell dropped. Immediately, the plan of the assassination of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came on board. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow his messenger, his prophet, to be killed, to be assassinated, or else his mission will be abolished, his mission will be uncompleted. And the message of dawah will not get to where Allah wants it to be spread to. So Allah instructed Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to leave that particular vicinity, and Angel Gabriel came to pick him. So he left Maisara. They were not asking him, they were asking her, where is your companion? He said, he just entered this place. At the end of the day, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was unable to collect the key to Jerusalem, which where we have our Baitul Maqdis. But there was a discussion on ground. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala couldn't get there. But Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala, he was the one that now went there. He was the one that collected the key to Baitul Maqdis, indicating the land belongs to us, to we Muslims, which have discussed this extensively. So after the departure of the Khulafa al-Rashidun, according to history, a lot of incidences happened that the Crusaders, and what do we mean by the Crusaders? The Christians, the missionaries, they are used to travel from one place to another. The missionaries are also the ones that came to most of this Yoruba land to come and liberate them. That is why up to today, you can hardly see a family that you won't see a Christian in that family in this Yoruba land. Even if this one, or even if this half Christian, you will see. Alhamdulillah, Islam is growing extensively now. But even if this half human being Christian, you will see in a one Yoruba family. Because they were the first category of people that became enlightened. Before then, Sheikh Usman ibn Fodio now spread Islam around this vicinity in Africa. Now, in 1099, there was an invasion in this particular Al-Aqsa. So the Muslim in that particular masjid, they now ran to Damascus. And on getting to the masjid in Damascus, they met a sheikh that was given khalqa. And the name of that sheikh is called Zainu Islam Al Harawi. Al Harawi is a particular town. Somebody who comes from Iraq. Al Harawi is the person that comes from Iraq. Iraq is in Afghanistan. This Shaykh Islam is a born and bred of Afghanistan. He was from nowhere family. He wasn't from a noble family. But he was a student that has passion in knowledge of Islam. He learned Quran at a very tender age. He learned Hadith. He learned Fiqh. So from there, he set out his journey and now went to Damascus. I hope you are following. Somebody from Afghanistan, the way me and you two, we left our villages and came to where we are now to come and seek for greener pasture, right? You also left Hira and traveled to Damascus. On getting to Damascus, be a knowledgeable person. The royal family, they harbored him. They accommodated him. To the extent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him dawla, he was now chosen as what? As the Qadi, the chief judge of Damascus. So he was in that masjid, given khalqa. That was when some Muslim brothers that escaped from the invasion of the Crusaders in Palestine, in Masjid Al-Aqsa, that was when they now go to that masjid with the Quran, the Musaf, supposed fourth Musaf of Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Usman ibn Affan. You know, we've talked about this Quran, these scriptures. So it was believed that one of the scripture of Usman that was kept in that Masjid Al-Aqsa, these refugees, these Muslim brothers, they now picked it so that if these Crusaders are going to invade the masjid, they should not tamper with what? With this Quran. So they took that Quran along with them, they took it to where? Damascus. On getting to Damascus, they met Zainu Islam Al Harawi. They met him giving khalqa to the Muslims. So the way they saw them, you see somebody that was in a distress. They were looking very haggard, looking tattered, looking very rough. They told Zainul Islam that this is what is happening where? In Masjid Al-Aqsa. That the Crusaders have invaded the mosque. And for them not to tamper with this Quran, that is why we brought the Quran. Zainul Islam Al Harawi, he stopped the khalqa. He was passing knowledge to the Muslim Ummah, the way we are discussing now. He said, what is happening now to our only third mosque? I need to do something. So he shut down all his activities, he locked his library, and he left for Baghdad. And Baghdad is where we used to have the seat of the Caliphate of the Muslimun. On getting there, they didn't allow him to see the Amirul Mu'minin. They didn't allow him to see the Khalifa. So he was there for so many days, and it was during Ramadan. So on Jummah like this, on Jummah day like this, when the Khatib, the Imam, was giving his speech, and even the Khalifa, if he's coming from his palace or from his office into the masjid, he used to have like a tunnel that we follow. You hardly see the Khalifa. But the Khalifa of them, they don't have that power. The power domiciled in the midst of the populace, of their subjects. They are just like a figurehead, it's just like Queen of England. She will come and go. No any power, it's just like a statue. That was the kind of life those Khalifa had then. The power is within their subjects. In some local provinces. So this Amir, or this Khalifa, people hardly see him. It wasn't like the time of Umar. It wasn't like the time of Abu Bakr, that they are free, anybody can see them. So inside the masjid, as the khutbah of Juma is being delivered by the Imam, Shaykh Islam, Zainu Islam Al Harawi now stood up inside the masjid. In the afternoon of Ramadan, he started eating bread inside the mosque. An alim, a chief judge, an Islamic chief judge of a whole state of Damascus, he started eating bread. So also, if you see anybody eating bread, even now that it's not inside Ramadan now, somebody just stand here now while we are doing what we are doing and started eating bread. The next thing we think maybe is a lunatic. We see one or two brothers want to hold him and go and hide him somewhere. Not talk of inside Ramadan. So there was a pandemonium inside the what? Inside the masjid. So when there was an uproar inside the masjid, people were shouting at him. He now calmed them down. He said, so you people can be shouting at me now just because only me, I'm eating bread inside the masjid during Ramadan. And all of you, including your Khalifa, is there. You are enjoying yourself. And the Baitul Maqdis is there being ravaged by the Crusaders. That was how he had the opportunity of passing his message. Because he didn't have access to the Khalifa al-Mu'minun. Zainu Islam Al Harawi, he said a lot of things to the extent that the Khalifa that he was not opportune to see, the Khalifa started weeping, and everybody inside the masjid started weeping that you are here, and the mosque that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed through to the heaven, and the mosque that all the Anbiya Allah, the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where they gathered to welcome Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is being invaded by the Crusaders, and you are here. So everybody thought about what Zainu Islam Al Harawi said. The following week, on Friday, he was in that town till the following Friday. They now assigned him to lead the Juma and deliver the khutbah. And when he delivered his khutbah, unfortunately, what he said was not written. But part of what we learned, part of what we had, part of what we read, that he narrated, everybody started crying again inside that masjid. It was an orator. He was an orator. And the oratory can only come from an alim, from a scholar, according to what they said. He said that moved everybody. Zainu Islam Al Harawi was in that Baghdad for some time before he now went back. After some time, the Amirul Mu'minin, the Khalifa, sent some army to him. They now fought the Crusaders, and that was how they were able to liberate Masjid Al-Aqsa from the first set of Crusaders, and that was June 28, year 1099. After some time, another set of Crusaders came. But when they were coming, the episode of Zainu Islam Al Harawi has been closed. There was another alim called Abu Fadli Ibn al-Hassab. Abu Fadli Ibn al-Hassab. He was also an alim. He was a reputable scholar. He was a qadi in Damascus. And I said, for you people to go and invade Masjid Al-Aqsa, I will also fight the way Zainu Islam Al Harawi also fought. So the first thing he did was he put up a contingent or a battalion of soldiers. He sent them to Baghdad. They went and met the Amir, the Khalifa. The Khalifa that was there was the Sultan Muhammad, was the Sultan that was there then. But unfortunately, this Sultan was covered with his royalty, was covered with his throne. He didn't do anything. So when the time is fast going, Ibn al-Hassab, Abu Fadli Ibn al-Hassab, he now stood up. He mustered people together. They now went to where? They went to Baghdad. They are doing all this just to save Masjid Al-Aqsa in Palestine. Me and you, what are we doing today? We are living a very free, clear life, that we are less concerned. And it's our land, it's our place. And that's where they are going to gather all of us on the day of Qiyamah. That same particular Palestine land. I brought the hadith to us in this masjid twice. Huwa adul mashar wal maisar. It's an authentic hadith of Nabiyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is where we are going to adul mashar, the land we are going to gather, wal maisar, where we are going to be evaluated. Nabiyuna Muhammad was the one that said it. So how or why are we going to be showing a kind of attitude as if the land belongs to the Gaza alone? The land belongs to the Palestinians alone. It belongs to all of us, especially with the Muslims. Abu Fadli ibn al-Hassab, he mustered people together. They went to Baghdad. On getting to Baghdad, the response they required, they didn't get enough. So he now put all majority of Muslims in Baghdad. They joined his force and they started rampaging inside Baghdad. They started rampaging, they started destroying property, they started doing this to send a message to whom? To the Khalifa. That was when the Khalifa now stood up. He now sent an emissary, an envoy to the Seljuks that I need your support. You need to come and support me. So it is this battalion that came from Seljuk that were now handed over to whom? To Abu Fadli ibn al-Hassab. He now took back. And that was 1113. 1113, year 1113. He now took them back to Baitul Maqdis to protect Al-Aqsa. And that was what led to the battle of Baghdad. What we mean by battle of Baghdad is the battle of the field of blood. They did all this, they fought all this battle just to protect what? The sanctity of our masjid. They are not angels, they are not prophets, they are human beings like me and you. But in Damascus, as Ibn Assad was the Qadi, a neighboring place in Syria called Aleppo, they had an emir called Ridwan. This Ridwan was fighting his younger brother just because of the throne. So, and it was that particular time that a category of Crusaders were passing by also to go to where? To go and invade Masjid Al-Aqsa. Unfortunately, for Ridwan, who was fighting his younger brother because of the throne, he now engaged the Crusader to support him to fight his brother. And he was now giving them gold. That was what Ibn Hassab also saw again. That made him to run to Baghdad. That these people that are coming to our land, Aleppo is in Syria. These people that are coming to our land to come and fight, that are on transit to Masjid Al-Aqsa to go and fight. Let us start fighting them from here so that they don't even have access to that place. And the very day that they are going to fight, that they are going to confront each other, Ibn Hassab, Abu Fadli Ibn Hassab, he wore a garment, like a ceremonial cloth, like you want to do convocation. Those regalias they used to wear. On his horse. The Frankies, the Italians, among the Crusaders, they were like 20,000. And Ibn Hassab, with all the support that he has gathered, they were just like 10,000. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for him was that he was able to speak to his own people, the 10,000. He spoke to them, that every one of them, he re-energized them. He boosted their morale. He spoke to them about the jihad, about striving in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just to do what? To protect Baitul Maqdis. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have it, at the end of the day, they became victorious. 10,000, they were able to kill majority of the 20,000. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They became victorious. Abu Fadl ibn Hassan, he continued to be living his life. This crusader then came around again, another set of crusaders. They came, and he also needed support to fight them. The Sultan in Baghdad, he now asked Al-Mawdud, that is another servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who had really, even without him, without his support, without his effort, maybe we wouldn't have been having a reference place that we are calling Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa today. They call him Al-Mawdud. Al-Mawdud was the one that the Sultan now sent to Mosul. Mosul is in Iraq. Mosul are part of is a community, or is a village among its 8 villages that Salman Farisi, those of you if you can flash back, when we were talking about Salman Farisi, the Persian that came from Paris to come and embrace Islam in Medina, Salman Farisi, from their particular community that he left, till when he got to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had a stopover in 8 places. He was learning on the road. He was seeking for knowledge of Islam. Rather that he lived under 4 bishops. He lived under 4 bishops. While on transit, he was seeking for knowledge. He discovered that this is not the right place I'm going. Before the last prophet that he met in Turkey now told him that you have to go to one Arab land. They call it Arab land. And when you are getting to the community, you will see the plantation of palm dates. When you see plantation of palm dates, it's describing Medina to him. Because when you are entering Medina, you will see palm trees and date trees. So part of the community, or part of the villages that Salman Farisi visited before he got to Medina was Mosul in Iraq. So Al-Mawdud was sent to that place. And Alhamdulillah, he was able to become victorious. But Ridwan, the prince who was fighting his younger brother in Aleppo, was not happy. He wasn't happy with Al-Mawdud's victory. To the extent that Al-Mawdud, after conquering the Crusaders around Aleppo, around Mosul, he also extended to other neighboring cities, to the extent that he need to fight the king Baldwin. They call him Baldwin, the king of Jerusalem then. All this, Ridwan of Aleppo was not happy. So after this victory, the battle that they fought in Jerusalem was what they call the Battle of Sanabra. That Sanabra, when they fought it finished, he had to return back to Damascus to go and rest because he got injured. So the following week, he came back that let me go and greet my friend. And the friend in that particular place then was the governor under Ridwan. So as they finished Salat Juma like this, that he came out from Masjid Al-Aqsa and hired assassin, just shot him and killed him from nowhere. Al-Mawdud. If not Al-Mawdud, me and you might not be having the opportunity of talking about Al-Aqsa today. And see the efforts that some of our Muslim brothers have put in place. What are we contributing today? Now, they killed, or Al-Mawdud was assassinated. After some time, Ridwan was also killed. Or another history said he died naturally. Wallahu ta'ala alam. And the person that killed Al-Mawdud was also killed. But unfortunately, He couldn't say this was the person that sent me. But ironically, it was believed that it was Ridwan that sent the assassin to kill him, because Maudud has overpowered the Crusaders that Ridwan was using against his own brother just because of the truth. So Ridwan died. The Zengid Empire now came on board. That is where we have Imaduddin and Zengi. After the Imaduddin and Zengi, we have the Nuruddin and Zengi. The Nuruddin and Zengi was one that now metamorphosed into Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. This is how the dynasty continue till we get to Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, which we are going to discuss, inshallah, bi qudratillahi ta'ala, any other time that Allah will spare our life to. So brothers, we are saying all this so that we should know the effort people have played or they have been inputted on the land of what? On the land of where? Palestine. Me and you, what is going to be our effort, or what has been our effort? And if we don't know history, we are just going to be romanticizing the past. What are not there, we believe they are there. And a poet said, Laysa bil insani walakin man lam ya'rifu akhbara ma qablahu wa man adawa amara umurihi adafa amara ila umurihi wa man wa ahbara ma qablahu adafa amara ila umurihi. Laysa bil insani walakin. The poet said, we can't call anybody a sensible person the person who doesn't study or who doesn't know history. Laysa bil insani walakin. We won't call him a responsible person, and we won't call him an intelligent person. Man lam ya'rifu akhbara man qablahu. The person who doesn't know the history, who doesn't have any information about man qablahu, the people of the past. It was a poet that said it, wasn't Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He just said it to encourage us to do what? To flash at the back. Waman wa ahbara ma qablahu. Whoever embrace, whoever study, whoever research, ahbara man qablahu, the stories, the histories, the news of the people that came before him, adofa amara ila umurihi. Adofa amara ila umurihi. We are going to multiply, we are going to increase the long, we are going to give him long lifespan. So if you know what happened in the past, you be careful so that you fall into the same pit that the people of yesterday fell into. Who want to follow the path of Pharaoh now? Who want to follow the path of Namruzu? But anybody, we want to associate themselves with Sheikh Usman ibn Fodio because they had a legacy. We know some people in this our own country too now, if they mention their name, we say, La'natullahi alayhi. And it's not Shaitan. But the act that he has acted while he was alive, even some of them are still alive today. But every time we hear their name, we say, La'natullahi alayhi. Because of what they have done. Reason why we need to study history, as I keep telling us, it shouldn't just be called Allahu, called Rasul. You need to study the ayat Sahaba and what is happening in your own geographical location as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us of our shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this as an act of ibadah. This is where we are going to stop today, bi qudratillahi ta'ala. Inshallah, bi qudratillahi ta'ala, we're going to start another discussion, which we have suspended almost 3 months now. We started discussing about the menstrual period of women. We talked about the marriage, and we talked about those that you need to marry and those that are not supposed to marry. And the next discussion we ought to have started was the discussion of divorce in Islam, before the incident of this Palestine started. So, bi qudratillahi ta'ala, we're going to have a little kind of break on Palestine. Even if we are going to be discussing it, might not be much the way we are discussing it now, so that I can continue our further discussion on other topics we are going to be discussing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this as an act of ibadah. Yawwa, abunda muka fada yau shine batun kokari da yan uwanmu a kasan Palestine suke yi. Filin na yadda muka fada, filin na namu ne, yadda manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya ga mana a cikin hadisinsa. kuma ba wani annabi Allah da bai je kan filin nan ba. Nabi na Ibrahim alayhi salamullah, annabi Ibrahim a gurin ne yaye, a kuma a gurin ne rasu, a gurin ne kabarinsa yake. Yayi rayuwa a gurin sosai kan matuka. To ba wani annabi Allah da bai zauna a gurin ba. Kuma a gurin ne, daga gurin na manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya tashi ya je lahira, ya je ya karbo sallolinmu da muke ta yi yanzu. To ya wansu za su zo yau za su ce filin wai ba namu ba. So mu da muke yanzu, mu da muke raye yanzu, mene adashi da muke yi zuwa gurin filin nan? In ma ba mu da kuɗi, muna magana ma wayanda su jahilai da suke faɗi abubuwa da yake ba namu ba. Muna magana ko mu ma mun san komai akan filin ne? To yan uwanmu suna guri matuka shekara 100, shekara 80 da wani abu yanzu zuwa kusa 90, ana ta hulakantar da su, ana ta kashi a kan fili, kuma su ne masu fili. Su wanda suna fada a kan fili yanzu su makauci ne. Su da suka zo guri ake ku zo na nan yau suka ce wai filin wai nasu ne, abin da yake faru a gurin kenan. To kasashen waje wayansu kamar America, kamar Britain, Ingila suna ba su goyin baya. To su kasashen larabawanmu me suka yi ma waye su yanwanmu dinnan, me suke yi masu? Ba wani goyin baya, domin akwai harkar sana'a tsakaninsu. Kuma na kawo ni aya da muka lokacin da muka fara karatun nan, da muka fara kutuba din nan, yana cikin suratul tauba. Lokacin da manzo sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya wuce Madina, Allah ya gaya masa cewa sai dai in akwai wani alkawari tsakaninka da su Quraysh mutanen Makka, shine ba za ka yi fada da su ba. Ce ku riga kun yi alkawari cewa ba zan zo in same ku a Makka yi fada da ku ba, kuma kar ku zo ku same ni a Madina. In akwai wannan alkawari tsakaninku, to kar ku yi fada. To tambaya na yanzu, akwai wani alkawari tsakanin su manyoyinmu a kasan Larabawa da yake kasashen musulmi ne, ke in suna hulakantar da mu ba za su zo su yi mana goyin baya ba ne? Akwai alkawari nan tsakanin su ne? To me yasa ba su tashi ba? Me yasa ba su tashi ba su je su goyi su ba yan uwanmu a kasan Palestine nan su je su ba su goyin baya ba? Ana ta kashe an kashe har 25,000 zuwa yau. An wase iyalai a matuka. Za ka ga wani miji ko mai gida zai dauki yaransa ko 4 gawansu a gabansa. Wasu iyali ma ba inda suke yanzu. Ina su yan uwanmu a kasashen Larabawa suke? Me ne suke yi? Shi ne magana da muka yi yau. Ke to dukanmu ya kamata mu tashi, ba wai mu yi ta daga makami ba ko makamai ba, amma mu yi magana. Amma za mu yi magana da hujja. So dukanmu ya kamata mu duba baya. Kama wani mala ya gaya mana, ya ce wai duk wanda bai san tarihi mutanen jiya ba, yau da yake raye yana cikin duhu ne. Yanda ana koyar da mu tarihin annabawa, tarihin sahabbai, ana maganan Qur'ani, ana maganan hadisi, ana ba mu labari yaki da manzon sallallahu alaihi wasallam yayi. Ko aka mata mu ma mu san tarihi me yake faruwa duniya da muke yanzu. Ba wai tarihi cikin Qur'ani ko na hadisi kawai bane mu sani ba. Domin mun san wannan tarihi din nan ko za mu san inda ya kamata mu zauna, inda ya kamata mu miki. So karatu da muka yi kenan, Allah ya sa mu gama lafiya, Allah ya kara mana ilimi, Allah ya kara mana goyin baya insha Allah. To kuma na faɗa akwai magana da muka fara tun kaman wata 3 baya, muna ta magana kan su waye ne kamata mu aura, su waye ne bai kamata mu aura ba a cikin Islam, su waye ne kuma su waye ne bai kamata mu aura ba. Da muka gama wayannan sai mun yi magana kan ila jinin mata. to magana da ya rage shine maganar saki. Ya wadata ko ya halatta a cikin Islam da muke yi ke mu ba su matayenmu saki. To ko muna da babbanci tsakaninmu mu gaya ma mata mu ce na sake ki so uku kuma ka faɗa so ɗaya, mene Islamu ya gaya mana, mene manzo mu ya zo ya gaya mana kai ruwan nan. So karatu da mu ko hujuba da zamu fara daga sati mai zuwa kenan insha Allah. Ba za mu dakata da maganar Palestine din nan ba, amma za mu dan rage lokaci da muke magana a kai domin mu ci gaba da wasu abubuwa. Allah ya sa mu gama lafiya, Allah ya sa mu gama lafiya, Allah ya kara mana ilimi, Allah ya sa mu yi a cikin sa'a, domin akwai wasu da suka yi wannan da ya fi namu, kuma Allah ya ce a ba mu sura ba na so duwan na ibada, kar Allah ya sa namu ya zama haka. Allah ya sa mu gama lafiya. Inna Allah ya'murukum bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging every one of us to do good, as we all know that doing good is the best. Ya'murukum bil adli, we should be just in whatever we are doing. If you are eating, don't eat too much. If you are talking, don't talk too much. If Allah give you a very good health, don't misuse it, because some people, they are using money to buy health to survive. We have some people, every one hour, they must use a particular medication to survive. If they miss 1 hour, the next hour will not meet them in this world. I have somebody, one of our brother that is here with me, just one tablet that he bought this week, or one sachet of a tablet, but it's 8,000 naira. Just one sachet. So if he's buying 2 now, times 2, and how much is his salary? Not talk of people that are buying drug of 100,000 and they must use it every 1 hour. That is what is keeping them alive. Allah gave them money, but he withdrew their health. Ya'murukum bil adli. If Allah give you good health, don't misuse it. You should be just, because you are going to be accountable for it. If you know you have the power, you need 2-3 wives instead of flirting around. Go and marry legally. Marry 2, 3, 4. Let them complete. Allah gives some people, the power in their body is like that of a horse. Kamar na doki ne, karfi da Allah ya ba su, lafiya na jikinsu da Allah ya ba su. Da za ka yi ta zina da lafiyan jikinka din nan, je ka kara aure, ka yi na biyu, ka yi na uku, ka yi na hudu. Kuma akwai wasu lafiyan jikinsu, kafin su yi na ɗaya ma, za a yi ta ayyakar kursiyu ne. In zai kwanta da matansa su ɗaya. Sai an sauko da sefi, sai an yi ya yi ya kwayo mu kafin ya gama lafiya. Allah duk abin da ya bamu ya ce mu yi adalci da shi, tsakanin yaranmu mu yi adalci. Bayan da za mu yi, Allah zai bamu soyayya a cikin yaranmu, wanda yake soyayyansa zai fi na kowa a cikin yaranmu. Maybe shi ne ya ta maka kurma. Shi ne ya sace baba yana zuwa, bari jen kwashe rigansa, baba ya shiga gida, bari jen sa mace ruwa bayan. Maybe shi ne. So dole ka so yaron nan, ka so yarinyar nan, tsakanin duk yaranka. Kaka nuna, domin ka nuna su yi raguwar za su kashe shi. Ina ta gaya mana batun nabiyu na Yusuf alayhi salamullah. Me yasa nabiyu na Yusuf ya sha wahala? Domin soyayya da babansa ya sa ido, kuma ya sa shi a kai. Shi ne jawo masa masifa tsakanin yawansa. Ya'murukum bil adli. Whatever we are doing, we should be just. Wal ihsan. Aikin alheri shine Allah ya ce mu yi ta yi, good works. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do. And what we mean by al-ihsan, an ta'budu Allah ka'annaka tarahu, fa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yaraka. Kai ta yi rayuwanka, live your life as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing you. Because if anybody is not seeing you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing you. It's an authentic hadith. An ta'budu Allah ka'annaka tarahu. Worship Allah. If you know it's only Inna Atena that you know, and Kurulu Allah that you know, that you should observe your salawat with in your house. If you are fortunate to lead people in prayer, don't go and jack up with Surah Al-Baqarah. And if you know you are an Hafiz, consider people that are learning behind you. Don't be using not to do your practice. You know you can recite Surah Al-Baqarah, Ali Imran, and Surah Al-Nisa on one rakah. Yes, if you are doing your tahajjud, continue doing that. But if you are leading people, we are not having, our health status is not balanced. Some, they can't hold their wee, so they only run to the masjid to pray within 1-2 minutes so that they can go out and go and take care of themselves, and they don't want to miss the congregation. Al-Ihsan, let us do good, even in our ibadah. فَإِنْ لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. If anybody didn't see you where you are doing good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing you. وَإِتَائِزِ الْقُرْبَى. Our family, iyalemu dan la kar mu manta da su. Ba wai matanka ba kawai ba, ba wai yaranka kawai ba. Har makwacin mu, mutuna da su, including your neighbors. As we are now, these are my immediate family here now. Before I leave here and go to my office now, I don't know what will happen. But if anything wants to happen, you are the next person that will save me before getting to my family. That is why we need to do what? You should continue to be doing ihsan and be remembering your what? Itai zil kurba. Those of you that used to fight for positions, take this from me now. Every time you keep fighting for position, and they will give you the position. What you used to enjoy that position, you don't even have it. The talent is not there, but they are giving you. Position is nothing, because the seat you are sitting, somebody was there yesterday. Politically, they can display somebody for you, right? In the office, they can display somebody for you and put you there. But if they put you there, you should remember that you are sitting on a 3-legged chair. But where we should all fight for, dukin da yake mutane mu dukanmu mu ita tunani ce ba wai office ba wai waje aikin mu ba, ce muna neman kujera ba mu kujera babba. Inda ya kamata mu riga yin tunani shine gida, mun koma gida za mu samu kujera da za a ce marhaba zo ka zo na nan. Anybody that will finish all the sojourn of his life and return back to his family and they didn't welcome him, that person is a bastard. Duk wanda ya koma gida, iyalensa ba su ce mashi marhaba san da zuwa ba, shi masiyaci ne. Amma wajen aiki an san ka kamar babban mutum, amma kai a gida a inda aka haife ka a cikin tsakanin iyalinka kai ba kowa bane, kai masiyaci ne. In ka ma mutu ma ba za ka samu Allah lafiya ba. Anybody that has honor outside and is not welcome at home is a bastard. So every one of you flashback, remember the day that you become incapacitated. And your friend will desert you. Your colleagues in place of work will desert you. Is it not where you meet? That's why I keep telling those of you that you have authority, that you are joining hands together to destroy somebody. Let us go and arrest him. Let us destroy him. Is it not the place of work that you met him? You will disengage later. You will separate later. You will now want to turn back to your family. And the family, today you didn't remember them. Tomorrow they won't know you. Every one of you, itai zil kurba. Remember your family. And those of you that you left your family in Baghdad, in Maiduguri, in Jalingo, in everywhere, that you failed to be going on. Ramadan is coming now. Plan yourself. Because you don't know maybe later that you are targeting, maybe it's going to meet you alive. If Allah spare your life till Ramadan, you can target the last 10. Go and do your what we do last 10 days. Your itikaf with your wife and your family at home. Some of you are here. Your mother only knows that you are still alive. She has seen you for the past 4-5 years. Somebody, how do you do? I have not made it. How do you do? Then when do you want to make it? Ramadan is less than 2 months now. Dukanku da kuna da iyali, da kuna da iyaye, ku tuna da su. Ku tuna da su. Abin da kuka yi ma iyaye ku yau, yaran ku za ku yi, za yi maku. Akwai wasu iyayensu, mamansu suna tun da yadda ce yana raye ne, amma yadda yake ba mu sani ba. How do you want them to pray for you so that the way can be smooth for you? You keep saying that the road is not clear, the coast is not clear. It can never be clear because you have forgotten the person that was your driver to this world. وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ يَعِظُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is enjoying every one of us. Every dirty politics, there is nowhere that there is no politics. Even inside Masjid, there is politics. It is the same politics after the death of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they politicize that is still disturbing us in the politics of Islam till today. Right from when Nabi Muhammad died, who is going to succeed him? The misunderstanding between Ali and Abu Bakr is the one that is still generating today, and it continues to go on Qiyamah. Those that believe in Ali, that was one that supposed to succeed Nabi Muhammad, they are the Shiites. Till today, they will never respect anybody following them, Abu Bakr and Umar. And they were the one that called Sayyidatuna Aisha a prostitute in their mouth. And they are Muslims. What caused the problem? Leadership. So every one of us, you should be very careful wherever we are. Tilka asaruna tadullu alayna fansuru badana ila al-asari. The legacy you are going to leave behind, let it be a positive one because of tomorrow. You don't know where your children will land in. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive every one of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help our Muslim brothers in Palestine. Wherever our people are being tormented, not only in Palestine, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen them and let there be increment in the state of their iman for them. As we have read, the verse that we quoted that we used for our khutbah today was that وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. That is the conditional clause attached to it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to increase every one of us in iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us of our shortcomings. Our security brothers, may Allah continue to be protecting them. Every one of us in our various disciplines and our various organizations, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be protecting us. Our leaders in Nigeria, Allah, you have chosen them. Either they can do it or they can't do it. We all know them as their leader, our leader. May Allah continue to be guiding them and direct their affairs so that they can direct us to the promised land. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Some of our brothers that we are still asking Allah to bless their wife with the fruit of the womb. Allah, you know them. And you have these children with you. You don't need them because you are the one that told us that wawalidin wa man walada. Wawalidin wa man walada. Allah, we are asking you, please bless them with children that will be beneficial to them. And those that you are giving among us, Allah, may Allah train our children for us. Tarbiyatul awlad, may Allah, the best, may Allah do it for us and do it for our children. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين وذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر اعداءك اعداء الدين وانصر عبادك الموحدين برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم ات نفوسنا تقواها وزكيها انت خير من زكاها انت وليها مولاها. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الارض ولا في السماء. رضيت بالله ربا وبالاسلام دينا وبمحمد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. ولا حول ولا قوه الا بالله العلي العظيم. قوموا الى صلاتكم ورحمه الله.